What is up, everybody? We are back again, and once again today we have another big time rapper who has decided to use their platform to scam a fan. And if you haven't heard of them before, they go by the name of Benny the Butcher. Now, the only reason that I've heard of him before is because back in like 2021, after 6ix9ine got out of prison and he had already snitched, nobody wanted to give him any features. Benny the Butcher ended up lying about 6ix9ine and his team reaching out to try to get a feature from him. I remember thinking at the time, why would 6ix9ine reach out to some random older rapper that I'd never heard of before? But the only thing that I would assume is maybe he wanted to reach out to him because he lived in New York, and maybe 6ix9ine was trying to get in with an older OG from the city to try to get a little bit of respect back. But at the same time, I don't know if any of that was even true, or it was only Benny trying to get a little bit more attention off of 6ix9ine's name. But whether that was true or not, both of them are definitely down bad nowadays, because 6ix9ine actually got recently arrested for having meth in his system and is probably going back to prison for a while, and Benny is taken to scamming his own fans, so you can decide which of them is down worse. And I already know you guys are going to say, oh look, Twisted found a way to bring 6ix9ine into another video that has nothing to do with him. Yeah, so what you gonna do about it? Let's get into the scams, boys. So this conversation starts off with an artist known as Big Gato Flacco reaching out to Benny and saying, what's up, goat? He says, what's good, gang? Your shit hard, fire. Let's get to work. What's your budget? Finna push your shit to new heights with these plays, 100%. And right off the bat, he's already talking business, which I find really weird considering the fact that a random artist hit you up, said, hey goat. He didn't even ask you to work. He didn't ask for a feature. He didn't ask for promo, and you immediately start talking about giving him promotion. And I mean, I kind of get it. You're a really busy artist. You don't really have time to waste on small talk, but at the same time, wouldn't you think he would say, oh, what are you looking for? Or, hey, what's up? What do you need? And even the way that this message is typed out almost looks a little bit too perfect with the two fire emojis. It's almost like it was made by AI. I mean, I'm not saying that rappers can't be well spoken, but usually when we look at these DMs, they don't really talk like this. This almost seems like a prompt that you get if you message him anything. He ends up responding, appreciate you. I'm going through some shit right now and struggling to pay bills. What's the lowest deal you can offer? Just so I know what I need to save up for. And then he says, what can I get done with 1K? He says, for 1K, I could do an intro with my tag on your song for the intro, or do a video bumping your shit and post on my story. And do you see what I mean here? Immediately, the grammar got a lot worse. There's less emojis. It almost seems like he's in control of the conversation now, where the prior message seems like it might have been a bot. He says, first option, you're dropping bars or talking your shit with the tag, and the second option is a video of you bumping the song posted on your story. Yeah, talking my shit, shouting out the song in your hometown too. So it looks like at this point he's not even trying to get a feature from Benny the Butcher. He's basically going to be getting the equivalent of a Lil Jon or We the Best Music. Basically a shout out from Benny where he's going to say some shit at the start of the track, and then after that he's not really going to rap. And honestly, I know Benny is a big time rapper, so getting anything from him for only 1K is a deal, but at the same time I feel like that's not worth it at all. I mean, who's really going to care? Oh my god, Benny's screaming his name at the start of this song. Now I really think it's a slapper, but before I definitely wouldn't have listened to it. Benny the Butcher, we're slicing that shit up. Okay, but for real, I really don't think that it would be worth the 1K. I mean, maybe the name recognition could get a couple more plays on the track, but overall it's probably going to fall on deaf ears. But either way, it seems like he's going to go through with it, and honestly, respect for trying to invest into himself. He says, I'm down for the option. How do we get that started? I was planning on cooking up a track just for that. What would be the deadline? He says, yeah, let's lock in right now. You got Cash App or Zelle ready? What's the Cash App? Cash App, and then he sends all of his stuff. Although one thing I do want to note here is that he wants 500 of the dollars to go to one account and 500 of the dollars to go to another account, and I'm not really sure why. It might be because one of those accounts is his manager or somebody on his team, but wouldn't it make more sense to get all the money sent to your one account and then pay your manager afterwards? Not really sure why that is, but it is a little bit weird. If anybody has any idea why he might be doing that, make sure to let me know in the comments below, and I'll pin the comment with the most likes, because I definitely am curious why he would be doing something like that. It seems sketchy, but it might be normal for these types of transactions. I'm not really sure. And once again, he goes through with it, sending 500 to one and 500 to the other, and then he says, all done G, you want the intro on the video, bro, and send me a clip and link to start promoting you. Intro. Copy and paste the list and answer, artist name, song name, hood name, email, IG, number, anything special you want me to say. And then he goes on to do that. And I'm going to be honest, so far everything does seem pretty professional. I mean, he already has the money at this point, but he does seem to want to go through with actually giving him the shout out on the song. Although I do think it'd be kind of funny if somebody gave Benny a random white suburban neighborhood to shout out, be like, you don't want to fuck with Sunnyvale Trailer Park in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, man. They really get shit done over there on gang, so woo. I don't want no gang violence. That was a joke. I don't know nothing about that, man. I don't know nothing about that. He says, you gonna send a stem or do you need the song sent? It's gonna be emailed to you, bro. You can put it on the track after you get it. Send clip and link to promote. He says, bet. I'm gonna wait until I get your stems and then I'll send the song to get mixed with the intro. Bet. When it releases, I'll get back to you. That cool? He then responds saying, forgot to mention my hometown, which of course is Sunnyvale Trailer Park. So, he's got to get on that. Now, all of that went down on April 6th. It's now April 9th, 3 days later. And he says, meant to ask you what your turnaround time was, G. I got you on the list of people who getting it back sometime this week. Is it a video or intro? The intro. Appreciate you, fool. And I mean, I hate to be that guy, but dude, how long does it take to scream a couple words on a track? I mean, you're not really trying to record a feature. You probably don't have to go to the studio for that. I know you're a busy guy with a lot going on, but I feel like for $1,000, you could probably have that done in under an hour or 20 minutes even. I mean, I get the excuse that these artists are busy, but I'm never going to understand why they cause themselves so many problems by waiting so long to get people their stuff. I mean, take the money, go record it, give it to them immediately, and then after that, you keep the money, you didn't scam them, everything's good, they get what they want, the song comes out, and then there you go, no problem. Because the longer you make somebody wait, the more frustrated they're going to get with you, and before long, they're really going to start to get panicked because after all, they gave you a large amount of money and you're not getting back to them that fast, so they're going to start sending you messages nonstop, calling you out on their story, and it seems like a headache that you don't even have to go through. Can we just make a new rule in rap that if you buy a feature that they have to get it to you within 2 weeks unless somebody in their family dies or they're sick with tuberculosis? That seems fair? No? Okay. After that, he doesn't answer until April 25th. He says, what's up, goat? You end up laying that. And then on May 9th, he says, what's good? After that, another month passes by. It's now June. He says, hey, my guy, I know you've been busy rocking out. If it's easier for you, I was going to see if you can switch the intro for a post. I just dropped a music video and I'm trying to get that shit jumping. Let me know, bro. Another 4 days go by and he says, that's cool. And the guy actually ends up seeing that message. So you can't say that he didn't notice this was going on in the first place. He actively opened up the DMs, looked at what he had to say and was like, nah, I'm not going to answer him. And then after that, another week goes by. And at this point, his music video has already been out for too long. So he doesn't really need the promotion from Benny anymore. So he goes back to trying to get the intro on his song. He said, this is a snippet of the joint I wanted your intro on. It ain't out yet. I wanted you to hear how it was coming so you know it's hard for real. After that, another month goes by. It's now July. He says, go ahead and send the rack back. I don't need the intro no more. And then on August 2nd, he said, it's been 4 months. Let me get a verse instead. On August 4th, he says, I got a 6-year-old to feed and he could use that for his school clothes, foo. You got bread, so what's the holdup? And all you people who always say, don't go after that person because he has a kid, what about the people who get scammed that also have children? I mean, we already know when you have children, it can be really hard to make ends meet. And this guy ended up investing $1,000 into his musical career, hoping that he would get something back for it. But instead, he never ended up getting a simple intro and he had to wait 4 months with no response. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, why did he end up buying that if he didn't have the money for it in the first place? Well, he probably did have the money for it, but he didn't think that the person would run off with the bag like this guy did. I mean, after all, like he said, he's a rich rapper and this guy's a struggling father. Why would you take his money like that? It makes no sense. There's no reason for it. And of course, at this point, you already know the story. He took the money, he did the dash, and unfortunately, he's never going to get his money back and he's never going to get the feature either. But this is where things get a little bit weird because me and Gato continued to talk for a little bit and it turns out that one of the places he sent the money to was actually a nail salon. So that kind of reads as money laundering or at least trying to hide the money that he's scamming from different people. I mean, really, there's no other reason that you would split the money like that. I mean, I don't know if scamming in this type of way is truly illegal, but maybe he's trying to hide it from his taxes. I'm not really sure what's going on here. I'm not the IRS, but dude is definitely up to some really weird shit. He also ended up reaching out to his management, but never got a response, although he did actually end up getting a response from somebody else. Because he actually ended up reaching out to another artist known as Dave East, who has previously worked with both Tekashi 6ix9ine and Sos Mula. He's pretty well known in New York, and he ended up saying a pretty similar thing to Benny the Butcher. He ended up sending Dave his song, and he said, yo, your shit go hard. We should start building and continue to grow from there. We can do a lot depending on your budget. I'm talking intros, videos, shoutouts, stories, even a feature if the numbers make sense. What type of budget you working with? We can make some moves and show people that we're working. He responds by saying, yo, Benny the Butcher already took 1K from me. He was supposed to do an intro for my song and he never got back to me. Had me send half to his company and half to his baby mother's hair salon. I understand that he's a busy guy, but he told me it would only be a week and it's been 4 months. He would just leave me on red. I let 4 months go by before I told him to send me back my bread so I could get my son some school clothes, and he still hasn't. I was and still am currently struggling financially and took a chance to help get my record spinning, but instead I was stolen from by a millionaire. No offense, fool, you're one of my favorite artists, but I can't afford to risk what I don't got. And of course after that he never gets a response. And I'm not trying to sound like a conspiracy theorist here, but I definitely think there is some something going on behind the scenes where all of these artists might be connected. I mean, what are the odds that both Dave East and Benny the Butcher are running the exact same promotion? I think they might have the same management, or maybe there's some company behind this, but either way, I definitely think there's a deeper rabbit hole that I can go down here. And if my YouTube channel ever ends up going down randomly one day because I got too close to the truth, well, remember me, guys. And before that happens, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you liked the video. Stick around for the next one. Subscribe to my other channel too, Twisted World. We're trying to get to 20K on there. And with that said, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to throw my squeaky ass chair at the wall. And with that said, Knife Gang, Boogaloo, peace out.